How's it? Gooner REAX here, and I'm here with Daneale, 2K's FIFA Reaper on Twitter. Um, bad 45 minutes first half, followed by an equally bad 45 minutes in the second half of football. But 3 points is 3 points, man. We come away with the W, all 3 points, 6 points on the season, but ugly fashion today. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just like, I think about all these points in the game. Don't get me wrong. 3 points is 3 points. 6 points is 6 points from great. You look at it. I mean, Emery, we did 22 unbeaten, so we don't want to look too much into the stats per se, man. I think for Arteta, also it's the way how we're doing things, how we're dominating the opposition, how we're playing against these teams. It's not mainly stats for me, because if we finish in the top 4, but we don't have the right manager that's going to do it. I have full faith in Arteta, but I'm just saying, like, for the example, if we're not dominating the opposition and we look like we're just skating by, guess what? We go to the top 4 and we go in the Champions League, we get spanked next year. And I'm just like, it was just no, you know what I mean? I want to be like Liverpool, where I go in the Champions League ready to win again, like ready to win, in that sense. So look, man, I start thinking about all these little things in the game. I'm like, Willian, I mean, I was telling people, don't get me wrong, he didn't have a terrible game, but I was telling people the same thing, bro. Mkhitaryan had 3 assists on his debut when Alba first came, and everybody was getting crazy that he's finally under an attacking manager, bro. I'm saying these players, bro, you have to watch out. They should be role players. They shouldn't be starting in, week out. Nico Pepe deserves a full chance on the side, give him a base run of games. Remember last season, he got a base run of games. Started the FA Cup final, did well. The midfield was terrible. And I love Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka is one of my favorite players in the team, but the midfield looked terrible. Defense, I mean, you could see we miss Kieran Tierney, man. What do you think about that? You could see.
Absolutely. I think you can see how much Kieran Tierney means to this team by his absence today. Mm-hmm. Sead Kolasinac is done. He has to go. He's not good enough. And the excuse of, he was thrust into the team, on a moment's notice. If anything, he should be chomping at the bit to get out there to prove himself. Exactly. Not good enough. He's hopefully going to be sold on. Would you maybe have gone with Maitland-Niles in there over in that position, as opposed to? Let me ask you this: were you happy with the lineup?
Before Kolasinac, I was 100% happy with the lineup. When I saw Kolasinac, and I got worried. I'm gonna be real. If I'm being honest, like, I think that's the one downfall I had in that lineup, was that Kolasinac was in it. Because, like, I get the Saka one. I get what we were doing with the left side, because Saka created both goals. So you can't fault that substitution for AMN. I think the only thing that just made sense to me would have been, we're playing an aerial team, a team that just loves to cross the ball, right? David Luiz would have been perfect to put in the middle. I mean, that's more creativity. That's more long balls to Aubameyang, to the likes of Willian to run onto. Not to mention, then we have Gabriel on the left-hand side. Gabriel is way more capable to be athletic, to get out there and defend the outsides, and still be able to defend corners and defend crosses. He was doing that all game. Gabriel had a very good game. Like, just because they scored a goal, I wouldn't say that he wasn't up there for man of the match. He had a very good game. He was blocking everything. He was dealing with everything. The penalty claim that they even tried to go on him for was not a penalty.
That's not a penalty.
Yeah, literally, I feel like, and then all his duels against Antonio, which is a physical striker, he manhandled him. At times, they were wrestling. Manhandled him. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like Rob Holding, he's done for me. Personally, he's done for me. Like,
really?
Yeah, like, Rob Holding had a consistent run, like a consistent, decent run, in my opinion. But if I'm thinking about it realistically, like, this is his first test in this season to prove to Mikel Arteta why he's playing, right? His first real test. A striker is coming up on him, getting physical with him, not letting it. Because Fulham, if I'm being honest, they didn't press. They didn't really make themselves really about. Mitrovic came on in the second half, and he's a little bit physical, but for the most part, they didn't really give a good test of themselves. Rob Holding hasn't really had to deal with a physical player. He's dealing with, like, Sadio Mane at Liverpool, in the Community Shield. He hasn't really dealt with a physical man until Antonio, and Antonio just dominated him personally. Like, I feel like every time I look at Rob Holding, I was like, damn. Not to mention, distribution-wise, he wasn't breaking lines like Gabriel. Like, Gabriel was breaking lines. He was, he's being very positive and stuff like that. I think, like, David Luiz, I think David Luiz, for what he does, it should be in the team, because David Luiz he's gonna do what Rob Holding should be doing. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, Rob Holding had good games. I'm not biased in the sense of, like, Rob Holding's not been good for a long time. No. Rob Holding's been shaky, then good. But at Arsenal, we need to improve. And if I'm thinking about it long term, I'm like, yo, I just was watching the under 23s the other night, and I saw Saliba, and boy, when I tell you that man doesn't lose a one-on-one, that man doesn't lose a header, that man is breaking lines every time he gets. I look at Rob Porter.
So who was your man of the match today?
It would be Saka because he created both goals. I think Saka was very influential. You see him trying to get into those little half spaces as well, which is very, very important because Mikel Arteta, you saw how Ainsley Maitland-Niles drifts into midfield a lot. It's that inner pocket. Saka does the same thing, but now you're putting Saka in like a creative 8 type of role. And he obviously the one time Granit Xhaka played him into that pocket of space, and the first half we scored. The second time he did it himself and went into that pocket of space dribbling, played in Ceballos. They didn't track their runner. It was an easy goal. So Saka was he was the only creator on the field today, bro. And that's what makes me kind of worried that we needed an award and a party done before the Liverpool game. Like we need one of them done, preferably a award.
If we get both players, if we get both Aouar and Partey in, where do we finish?
I think it's top 3 certified. Like I think it's definitely top 3 certified. Like I feel all right. So yes, Chelsea's made more signings than us. Yes, Man City's potentially going to bring in more players. Liverpool is definitely. I'm sorry. I think they're going to walk the league. What they just added to their team again is crazy. Yeah. But that 4th spot, Manchester United. I've been saying they've had a fraud of a manager for a time, bro. I don't rate Ollie. So I think we have the best manager out of the top, from Leicester, Manchester United, and Chelsea and Tottenham. I think we have the best manager. So I'm thinking of it like, we'll definitely nag a 4th spot or 3rd spot if we get those 2 players, because those 2 players will transform us. We will not, I don't think you'll see us in a 3-4-3 again. And I don't think you'll ever see us playing so much down the wing again. We'll be playing so much through the middle. It'll be crazy. It just disappoints me that we don't have that level of player yet, man. Like we deserve it as Arsenal fans.
Yeah, we do. And I think we're going to get there. I actually think I think we're going to get both players in the transfer window. I really do. I'm sorry, say it again.
You think we'll definitely get them before the end of the window?
Yeah. I think we get both.
Yo, those prices.
I think we get both. I think we get both, and I think Mikel Arteta is pressing hard to bring in Wilfried Zaha as well.
Yeah. Yo,
I don't know, but I feel like he's going to think he's going to worry about Aouar and Partey first, and then he's going to press to bring in Wilfried Zaha again. I don't really know why. Because we're loaded down the wings, but
I think I know why. If we
bring the rich could potentially get richer.
If we bring in a Wilfried Zaha before, it's not a bold thing to say that we have the 2nd best front line, potentially the best attacking depth in the league. Like literally, like you add a player of that quality. Like you can compare front lines with anyone. They don't have the depth. We could be bringing off Zaha and Pepe off the bench, man. We could be bringing that level of quality off the bench. City, since they lost Sane and stuff like that, they don't have that same level of quality. Like they don't. I don't rate Jesus either. So I look at it like, if we're gonna bring in that level of quality, man, that's amazing. But I'm telling you, Arteta needs these signings. He needs 2. He needs 2. He needs 2.
Yeah.
Like I was worried when I was watching that game. Like not even for the 3 points. It was just like I see what we're doing, and it's just like I know it's just 2-3 players away. I think we're 2 players really away in terms of like moving up there, but then everything else is like a bench, like a depth issue, like just having more cover in certain positions. And then you build on that season by season, man. You don't just, it's not a 1 season type project. So I'm telling you, I think we bring in a party in a war, we strengthen in that aspect. Whew, man, scary times.
Yeah, really. All right, man. Thanks for coming on with me.
No problem.
Hopefully we're going to make this a weekly or I should say match by match occasion. So you're the first one, man. You're the inaugural Gooner to react on TBG Media. So really appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon.
Talk soon, man.
Always a pleasure.